Announced Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones in a very lengthy, rambling, run-on post on Truth Social because they don't support the war in Iran and have been very critical about President Trump, getting duped by Israel into engaging in that operation, saying that they want Iran to have a nuclear weapon because they have one thing in common: low IQs. This is typical Trump-esque. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. Everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes and never did. That's interesting because they're actually some of the top podcasters in the world. They've been thrown off television. Oh no, corporate media lost their shows and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. No, that's because corporate media, especially Fox News, Newsmax, have a very strict narrative that they are abiding by. So you can't have other people on to reach the lost baby boomers and whoever the hell else watches those networks with the forbidden truth. Despite Megyn Kelly's criticism of President Trump, she did recently say that she still would support him or would have voted for him even if he did drop a nuke on Iran.
I mean, honestly, Trump could drop a nuke and I'd still vote Republican over those people because they want to voter. In some ways, I really am. But honestly, what they want to do is nuke our own country.
But the reason why he added Alex Jones on that list is because after he said that he would destroy the entire civilization in Iran, as the deadline was approaching for his ceasefire demand, then Alex Jones called for the 25th Amendment to be evoked.
How do we 25th Amendment his ass?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and let him pretend he's president and publicly report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over. It literally needs to be something like that. It's that bad.
Many on the MAGA right got extremely upset and concerned by Trump's threat to destroy the entire civilization of Iran, thinking that he was going to nuke the country, when, of course, this was just your typical art of the deal, over-the-top rhetoric, trying to scare them. And interestingly enough, it worked. But President Trump might as well add Matt Walsh to that list, who has been one of the other larger voices critical of the war for Israel.
The question still is, I think there's one question still has not been answered, which why exactly was this necessary for America to get involved in right now? I don't think we've ever gotten, to my mind, a sufficient answer to that.
Well, because Benjamin Netanyahu lied to President Trump and all of his neocon and Zionist advisors fed him a bunch of disinformation in order to dupe him into participating.
Not like, well, maybe it'll work out, but why was it necessary? Why did we have to do this right now? I don't think it's been a good answer to that, and especially when the nuclear program is used as the answer. Well, we were told that it was obliterated back in like June, so it's difficult to understand how both those things could be true. That the nuclear program was obliterated, but also the nuclear program is why we had to launch this war. I don't think we've gotten a good answer to that. And I also think that, and then how are we better off? How has America benefited from it? Getting the Strait back open. Well, great. It was already open before this, so it's hard to see that we could say that that was a good reason for the war to start.
Even clickbait and Benny Johnson, who learned the art of clickbait from his time working at BuzzFeed before he got fired for mass plagiarism, where he would write articles like this: the 8 sexiest bachelors of Congress, calling people like Lindsey Graham a beefcake. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's enough. So, yeah, is that their narrative? If that's what they're going with, that's their story. Trump throws Netanyahu under the bus, and he'll throw Paula White Kane under the bus, and whatever, right? And we'll brush it under the rug. People forget about it in 3 months.